What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the creative process in this studio, and got a special guest with me. I got my wife here, and we just came back from California. I was doing some spoken word for an amazing collaboration between YouVersion, One Hope, Faith Comes by Hearing, Bible Media Group, Wycliffe Bible Translators, Biblica, and I got a chance to do some spoken word there. But the cool thing about it is that we got a chance to take this trip together. And this was my first time in Orange County, Jeneil's first time in California as a whole. So we got some clips, and we want you to check it out right now. All right, y'all. So that was the clips from California. It was just an awesome experience. That collaboration is called Close the Bible Gap. And what they're doing is that they're translating the Bible in every known language. They're putting it in every format: physical Bibles, audio, visual, incorporating technology, and all of that kind of stuff. Thinking of some countries that are restricted to Bible access and trying to figure out how to get Bibles into these different countries. It's just amazing. And so I was able to capture that story using spoken word and encouraging people to get involved. It was really inspiring, but I wanted to ask you, Jeneil, what are some takeaways, like, I guess, two highlights from the trip?
Two highlights. Well, of course, it was great to be in California.
Come on, somebody.
That was a great choice to have a gathering. So that of course was meaningful for me, just because I had never been to California, and it was just beautiful, beautiful weather, beautiful everything there. So that was nice. But what was and that was great hospitality, which is always appreciated. But it was also great just who they chose to put in the room. I felt like was meaningful. Like they were bringing people to tell in full detail things that they were doing. Some things we even had to have our phones off and just talk about as a family. Um, they're just for security reasons for the indigenous missionaries who
Yeah.
were here talking about what's going on there in their country and things. And so to trust, so the people that they chose to trust this with and to bring together and say, let's do this together, were people who were Christ followers and used their businesses as ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really encouraging to me, because I just love that. I love that concept. I love that bringing people who were not full-time ministry in the
Right.
traditional sense, as far as they're not pastors at a church. None of them were, leading congregations or anything. And sometimes we as a church can kind of esteem those positions, because we should. but we could esteem them to the point of no one else can do ministry, no one else can make impact. And that was not what was happening at this event. It was
Mm-hmm.
very much like, the bringing people together who were good at being strategic. They're good at creating resources that are needed to accomplish this goal. There are people who love Jesus, they love His Word, and they're
Mm-hmm.
together in one place, and just becoming even more aligned. And in that alignment included them putting their finances behind it and reaching goals that are
Mm-hmm.
needed in order for these Bible translations to be completed in a
Yeah.
very timely way. And so, yeah, literally a few years from now, we can have every every translation needed for mission work. Anyway, so that was really that was probably really the biggest thing for me that I just thought was great. Of course, I also appreciate when they or any event that is doing something big in the community, doing something big in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and they have the foresight to see like we need to tell this story and not just tell the story in a lecture style. We need to tell it creatively,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where people like yourself, come in, and where they are actually will bring them in to the team to go, okay, how are we going to creatively tell
Yeah.
what's happening and this impactful thing that we're doing. And not everyone's there. Not every event,
Mm-hmm.
not every gathering, is there to fully embrace that and to
Mm-hmm.
and be willing to put their resources toward it to, to bring someone out and make them a part of the team. And so, of
Yeah.
course, I really appreciate that, seeing that you're my favorite client and all.
Ooh. No, I mean that was definitely just seeing, like you said, that they have the foresight to do that. I think we're in a world where everything is turning towards creativity. If you want to have a life online at all, you have to be a content creator of some sort in order just to be noticed. And so people are telling, like everyday people are telling their stories through creativity. Um, and so, like you said, sometimes there's organizations that are not there. They're maybe they don't see the value in it, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, when you have that a collaboration that big, and they're just like, yeah, we need to tell the story in a creative way, that's obviously like inspiring. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think the thing for me was that there was actually a unity happening on that level. Like these six
Supernatural.
organizations, yeah, it's insane. And so the timing of everything too, with just the rise of technology, AI is, these leaders are thinking about AI as a tool to help with Bible translations. And so AI wasn't around, and so we had to do things manually, or all of that kind of stuff. And so now this tool is here to actually help speed up that process, and that in and of itself is crazy. That people, these six organizations and other organizations connected to them are thinking ahead in that way and unifying and saying, yeah, we got to pull together in order to make this happen and use every resource available. And so that, I felt like that was cool. And that the unity is not just a relational unity. It's not like, hey, I know you and you know this person and you know this person. Hey, let's keep doing our own things, but also like just kind of check in with each other every now and then. No, this is operational unity where they are using their resources
Mm-hmm.
and saying,
What's
hey,
mine is yours.
yes, yeah, and that's I don't know, I feel like that's a Acts 2 type of situation of like, hey, there shouldn't be lack in this area if we're all working in the same field together. Then you should, I can share my resources, you can share your resources. And so they're literally having people from their teams actually, working on this collaborative project. They brought their top donors in their own ecosystems, their own separate ecosystems, and they brought them together to say, hey, like, let's get this, let's get the ball
Fund
over
this
the line.
project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move the needle. Let's make it happen. So that was crazy. And then of course having you there too. Y'all, she actually wasn't feeling the best when we were out there. And so
Stinking devil.
yeah, it was kind of a bummer. Like, it was, first of all, it was
So
a
frustrating.
challenge to just get out to California. I mean, there was just hurdles. It just felt like hurdle after hurdle, and our kids were sick and all this kind of stuff. And we were just, we were like, okay, I was 3 weeks
determined to
out.
go.
Yeah, I was 3 weeks out, and I worked for another part-time for another organization, and we had a team meeting, and my praise that I'm always bring, I'm like, we got 3 weeks left till we leave. 2 weeks left. Oh, we're leaving tomorrow. Like, that was my
We were so
praise.
looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was still great. I just
Yeah.
had to look at the, sunny California in between sneezes and coughs.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and I was like,
but
man.
you stayed healthy, and I feel like that was what was most important. The
I
mission
wanted
needed
you to
you
be healthy.
to be whole so that you can do what you have been, working to do and preparing for, and you did great.
Yeah.
And it's hard to tell a story very well when you're sneezing and sore throats or something. So that was
We had a good
that was the
time.
grace of God.
Yeah, we had a good time. Met some great people, and yeah, God was just doing things, connecting everybody, and it was just really cool. So, yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed that. And I enjoy having you in this car too. So maybe we'll do some more videos like that. All right, y'all. Creative process. Let's get it.